What is biomagnetism? Throughout its history, entering the 21st century, humanity is faced with increasing and accelerating technological progress in a short time, not being aware of the consequences resulting from it. The modern man is threatened by its technology and suffocated by capitalism pressure, and amid this whirlwind of product offerings and processes as living well? So, how to relieve simple stress and seek a dignified life with balanced health? On the day of surgery and increasingly faced with symptoms and scosomatism due to the high degree of stress and poor quality of life that humans currently enjoys. Thus bioenergetic psychotherapy, associated with therapeutic procedures that stimulate the body to the natural healing process by stimulating health in the pursuit of free energy flow, results in rapid and effective bioenergetic balance. From this fact, we tried to aim the opportunity to present and disseminate this research on the practical application of biomagnetism. The professionals of the clinical area, primarily the bioenergetic psychotherapist, aimed at providing harmony and balance between body, mind and means environment for their patients. I consider magnetotherapy, after years of continuous research and study, as an excellent source and therapeutic tool that may ultimately contribute to the professional development of holistic therapist who seeks balance biopsychosocial individual. The conditions of modern life, with its steel buildings, concrete, cars, trains, buses, airplanes and subways, not to mention the personal technology, mobile phone and notebook, deprive humans of regular exposure, necessary and beneficial to the Earth's electromagnetic field. Due to the absence of contact with nature, deriving diseases caused by energy, that is, loss of potential natural healing force of organisms. What has been proven by the field deficiency syndrome, magnetic SDCM, with symptoms of stiffness in the shoulders, back and neck, chest pain and insomnia of unknown cause, headache, dizziness, central nervous system imbalance and fatigue widespread, among others, enunciated by Nakagawa. Souza, 2005, pages 74. MTC has gained many fans by treating the individual in a holistic and integrative manner, considering the key energy as the substantial and organic essence of life, back to distribute the energy through the body's meridians, avoiding stagnation key. The bioenergetics, body psychotherapy, which leads the individual to reconnect with your body and releasing breastplates area of muscle tension in the pursuit of energy release, shares the same objectives in relation to the free flow of vitality in the body. On the other hand, biomagnetism, to re-establish the consistency of information in the electrical body field, vitalizes the cells by stimulating the natural potential of electromagnetism in the body, and provide deep sense of well-being due to the circulation increase in body fluids, quenching the stagnation that causes illness and pain. Such considerations of view of traditional Chinese medicine guided the research for the use of therapeutic magnets applied to acupoints. Unpretentiously comes a therapeutic approach, which boosts the vital energy, optimizing neurophysiological systems and their functions, confirming the concept of being multidimensional human. So it can be mentioned that both biomagnetism, such as acupuncture, fall in the West as complementary or energy therapies, and is compatible and especially recommended to alternate with therapeutic techniques that improve the emotional area, and can help boost the immune system. In view, Cordoba 2006, explained in the Chilean magazine Mundo Nuevo. The magnetic field and the health balance, the natural magnetic energy of the Earth, or geomagnetism, presents today an unknown source. According Burla and Hemlin 2002, some physicists propose that there is a giant magnet in the center of the Earth, magnetic mass or electric current responsible for the magnetic field. But others argue that the source is a great distance from the planet. And the third suggests that the magnetic field is created by the ionization of the layers of air surrounding the Earth. The authors consider likely that all hypotheses are partially true. Geophysicists believe that part of the magnetic field is generated inside the Earth from the existing iron in the center of the planet. After this Burla and Hemlin explanation 2002 complements, citing measurable magnetic field at the Earth's surface is about 0.5 Gauss and extends to 64,000 kilometers from the planet's surface, forming the area known as magnosphere. Burla and Hemlin, 2002. Pages 36. Gerber 2002 warns of varieties of the magnetic field in relation to the location and time of day. It is always stronger than the dark side of the planet, This because during the day the magnetosphere interacts with the magnetic solar wind, which compress, weakening the magnetic field strength. The last consideration of the magnetic field and his pulse with maximum oscillation frequency of about 7.8 cycles per second, is also known as resonance geomagnetic activity Schumann. As regards the energy metabolism of said field type appears to be slow, since it increases and decreases in intensity in cycles 500,000 years. Current ratings revealed a reduction of 90% in field strength, which decreased to about 4 Gauss 0.4 to 0.5 Gauss. Gerber, 2002, pages 295. Cordoba 2006 points out that the disease occurs when establishing a distortion or imbalance between positive and negative charges, reaching involve complete bodies, but explains that the biomagnetism can correct these distortions by eliminating the excess of negative charges in the negative pole of the magnet, which are neutralized by the excess of positive charges, leaving the positive pole of the magnet, to achieve healthy balance for the human body. Cordova, 2006. The magnetism of action on health is understood by the author from the definition that the biomagnetism is a therapeutic method that uses common medium-intensity magnets to restore the bioenergetic balance in the body and thus regain health. Placing magnets at specific points of the body, you can correct energy dysfunctions and exterminate in a short time viruses, bacteria, fungi and parasites. Cordoba, 2006. Basics. Magnetism, like the Earth, considered a huge magnet, has two magnetic poles. Burla and Hemlin 2002 conceptualize that every magnet has two poles, identified as north and south. It was named as North Pole where the power lines enter and South Pole where they leave. Report yet, the South Pole is associated with a positive charge and the North Pole with a negative charge. Burla and Hemlin, 2005, pages 62. The types of magnets used for therapeutic purposes, specified by Mortari 2007, are artificial, with a power of attraction that can last up to more than 10 years, since the natural possess a magnetism weaker. It is classified according to its power in large 3000 Gauss, medium 1500 Gauss and small 250 Gauss. Magnetic Field Deficiency Syndrome (SDCM). When considering that living things require a daily exposure to the geomagnetic field, already diminished, any factor that blocks or cause further weakening of the terrestrial magnetism might cause deleterious effects on human health. Conversely, anything that can help or maintain an appropriate level of exposure to the geomagnetic field of the Earth should be beneficial to humans. Gerber, 2002, pages 295. As for the symptoms of SDCM, the research Koichi Nakagawa, published in 1976 in Japan Medical Journal with the title of Deficiency Syndrome Magnetic Field SDCM, identified symptoms: rigidity shoulders, back and neck, diffuse lumbago, chest pain of unknown cause, frequent headache and head heavy, dizziness, insomnia of unknown cause, constant constipation, imbalance of the central nervous system or ataxia, and general fatigue. Burla and Hemlin, 2002, pages 81. How is a syndrome can only be diagnosed if symptoms persist after treatment of the disease. Therefore, the patient will respond to a treatment based on magnetism to the SDCM can be diagnosed with certainty. Burla and Hemlin, 2002, pages 81. At first, to be elected to the condition being investigated, there was a focus on SDCM, but as biomagnetism back to these symptoms, it was impossible not to notice the existence of the same in cases of TMD, temporomandibular disorders (TMD). We opted for the TMD pathology by engaging beyond the functional organic commitment, the emotional aspects of stress and anxiety. In this study, the term DTM comes to designate the painful conditions of mandibular musculoskeletal origin, especially chronic in nature. Craniofacial pain of dental origin are due to the stomatognathic system dysfunction. The DTMs encompass various conditions that affect the temporomandibular joint (TMJ), masticatory muscles and associated structures. It was found that are diverse in nature, so the etiology of TMD is multifactorial and is not well understood. It is worth mentioning Stoller 1995, who researched the existence of predisposing psychological conditions of masticatory muscle pain. but it did not become evident a psychological profile of patients with TMD. What happens before the chronic pain is a change of mood and anxiety states. Other studies have warned that the mood swings are a consequence and not the cause of chronic pain, in the same way that the emotional change is not proportional to the severity of the disease. Biomagnetismo contextualization historical. The first measurements of the bioelectric field associated with the human body dating back to 1887, when the first electrocardiogram ECG was recorded, which were followed in the 1920s by measurements of the electrical activity of the stomach muscles, which control the movements of contraction and relaxation, whose technique is called electrogastrogram EG. Still, at the end of that decade, it appears the first detection reports of electrical activity of the brain, electroencephalography EEG. Moreover, the measurements of the magnetic field associated with the body arise only decades later. This fact is due to both the most demanded technological complexity for the detection of magnetic fields associated with living creatures which are of very low intensity, as discredit the scientific community, arising quackery practices by doctors, or fake doctors, that they claim to cure their patients using almost esoteric techniques associated with magnetism. Dating from the 18th century, the first ideas related to magnetic fields produced by the human body. The Dr. Franz Anton Mesmer (1734–1815), born in a village close to Lake Constance, the Swabian region, which currently belongs to Germany, was the first to propose that the human body was composed of a kind of magnetic fluid. He is said to be able to cure various diseases by placing magnets at certain points of the body. It did not take long for Mesmer were accused of quackery. What Mesmer did not know is that the generation and propagation of magnetic field on biological tissues, such as those present in the various organs of the human body, it would be scientifically proven, over a century after his death. More precisely, the first measurements dating from the decade of 1960. The measurement of magnetic fields associated with living things gave rise to the call biomagnetism, which is an interdisciplinary field involving physics, biology, medicine, engineering, metrology, and other areas of science. Through these measurements it is possible, px, information on biophysical systems, conduct clinical diagnostics and develop new therapies. Considering the characteristics of non-invasive, non-need for contact with the patient and safety associated with the possibility of obtaining the temporal and spatial distribution of the magnetic field and location of their bioelectric sources. Measuring technique biofield has important advantages in clinical application. An important aspect of the technique is the possibility of access to information on the current primary tissue electrical activation primary current non-invasively, without significant influence of inhomogeneities of the volume conductor around the tissues, which cannot using the conventional technique of measuring the bioelectrical activity by ECG or EEG, given the fact that they are based only on the secondary currents generated in the conductor volume. The cardiomagnetismo. It refers to the detection, analysis and interpretation of magnetic fields generated by electrical activity of the heart. There are about 46 years ago, Ball and McPhee made the first measurement of an MCG using a set of copper coils in an open field, away from urban magnetic noise. As part of its vast theoretical and experimental studies, they also have proposed different methods of measurement and analyzed several innovative geometries coils for the correct prediction of many MCG parameters. In 1967, Safonov et al. And Cohen reported the first time the MCG signal measurements in a laboratory environment with the patient and the measuring coils placed inside a magnetically shielded room. However, the breakthrough in the art occurred with the development of SQUID superconducting quantum interference device at the end of the 60s, the most sensitive transducer magnetic field voltage. Dating from 1970, the first measurements MCG using SQUIDs in magnetically shielded chambers. During the 1970s and early 1980s, studies have been conducted comparing the MCG with standard electrocardiograms (ECGs). These combined measurements were used to generate magnetic field maps (MFM), magnetic field map, and correlate them to heart diseases. It can be said that in the international context, the main biomagnetism event is the series of Biomag conferences, International Conference on Biomagnetism, which began in 1976 in the city of Cambridge in Massachusetts, in the United States. In this first edition the number of participants was only 23. Currently, Biomag is a series of biannual conferences that have been through several countries including United States, Japan, Germany, Austria, Finland, Canada, among others. Unlike the small number of participants the first event, the Biomag 2004 Boston, USA with the participation of over 600 representatives from more than 15 countries, and more recently, the 17th edition held in 2010 in the city of Dubrovnik, Croatia, had the contribution of 416 authors from 22 countries. Possible applications. Research in this area have explored several non-invasive methods of measurement of biomagnetic fields that may be used for more accurate diagnoses, treatments and aid the identification pre-surgical areas affected in different body organs. Other techniques can already to a large extent these results but are often invasive. Thus, the biomagnetism may be convenient, fast and safe alternative and in some cases less costly. The research areas in which there is a greater potential for future applications are neuromagnetismo, the cardiomagnetismo, the gastromagnetismo, the pneumomagnetismo and magnetic biosusceptibility. In neuromagnetismo, the data obtained on brain magnetic field, with the methods now available, allow several applications, and in research on the functioning of the organ. Fields can help map processing made by electrical impulses of information in the brain. Knowing where and when certain information is processed is important for neuroscience, and data can also help to understand certain conditions and to formulate new therapies. The high cost still limits the clinical use of magnetoencephalography (MEG) to record the brain magnetic fields. However, the speed of data collection, non-invasiveness and excellent temporal resolution make it a great potential technique. Its application is growing in the pre-surgical determination of affected areas of the brain, mapping regions of brain activity and activity location linked to epilepsy. Several groups research more accessible methods to locate brain regions using magnetic fields and characterize their abnormalities, usually linked to disease. The study of magnetic brain activity is performed basically in two ways: by recording of spontaneous brain signals such as alpha wave and for registering responses to external stimuli evoked fields. In both, the record needs to be done at various points to the sources located. The external stimuli, but can be changed in a controlled manner, thus obtaining the information of interest by a medium process of magnetic signals from active regions. Recently, this type of image has been combined those obtained by nuclear magnetic resonance, which generates calls multimodal images. Within biomagnetism applications, the heart is the second most important organ, due to the high incidence of heart disease and intervention chances. The MCG has the same potential diagnostic electrocardiography (ECG) and is believed to be able to locate sources of abnormal electrical activity in the heart without the fasteners in the patient's skin or organ. Lungs and stomach. The concentration of ferromagnetic particles in the lungs pneumomagnetismo is obtained by measuring the remnant magnetization that remains after application of the field. In the case of paramagnetic particulate accumulation in other organs such as liver or tissue, is measured magnetic susceptibility. In this technique biosusceptometry, the measurement is made while applying a little intense field. The applied magnetic field change is induced by the paramagnetic particles in the evaluated organ, and the resulting field is proportional to the concentration of the particles. The measure of the magnetic field generated by the electrical activity of the stomach is called magnetogastrografia. This technique has been developed to assess the frequency of this activity, its rate of spread and their behavior under different dietary conditions and in the case of ingestion of drugs. Common questions: 1. How does the biomagnetismo doctor? It acts on body cells, providing energy balance and the pH potential of hydrogen to eliminate viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites and organ dysfunction in any human being. 2. Is there any side effect the biomagnetismo medico? The biomagnetism medical causes no side effect, since the magnets are placed on the patient's body without machine and without invasive procedures. 3. Medical biomagnetismo can be alternated with other treatments. The biomagnetismo medical is not contraindicated to any treatment, can simultaneously take with allopathic medicine or any other branch of alternative medicine. For it is painful treatment with biomagnetismo, doctor? The magnets used in the treatment of biomagnetismo medical are high power, but are not connected to any machine, so the patient does not feel any pain during application. 5. If I have a metal prosthesis, can I receive treatment? Regularly, prostheses are made of surgical steel or titanium and not conducting magnetism, so it can be treated with biomagnetism medical despite the prosthesis. 6. Children can be treated with biomagnetismo, doctor? The biomagnetismo medical can be applied to patients of all ages, from babies to the elderly. Indeed, children respond more quickly to treatment. The only detail is the child is not moving during the screening. 7. How long does treatment with biomagnetismo medico? Each session lasts about an hour, where it is a trace, then treatment with magnets that are put for 15-20 minutes. 8. How many sessions I can see the results? No patients are alike, however, results begin to be seen from the first week of treatment. 9. It is an expensive treatment. Treatment with biomagnetism medical has a similar cost of any visit to a specialist in allopathic medicine, or alternatively, the cost is reduced by the fact that the biomagnetic therapist provides the solution ailments without the use of drugs. 10. Which cases cannot apply this treatment? The biomagnetism doctor cannot be used in patients that receiving chemotherapy or radiation therapy. Patients with pacemakers. Pregnant. The study results show the true effectiveness of biomagnetismo therapy in a wide range of pathologies. Many people probably will prefer to ignore the positive results until they are blessed by the official health authorities. The problem is that these authorities react very slowly because of bureaucracy and pressure from powerful industries. These large corporations see their business threatened by cheaper natural, clean and efficient medical solutions. And this deadlock time, millions of people worldwide still die from diseases that can be cured today at low cost and simple. But even if a minority with power and money can try to stop this progress, biomagnetismo already is an inevitable phenomenon in the world and more people show evidence of the facts. There are already 15,000 biomagnetismo therapists in the world today, especially in Latin America, and this number continues to grow exponentially, because the system of diagnosis and healing is also simple and quick to learn and apply, and requires no previous medical studies. Moreover, it has no side effects and cannot cause any damage, if misapplied. The crushing of the biomagnetic healing successes is the reason that more and more doctors and therapists incorporate this technique in their daily queries. And that is why some countries have already incorporated into their public health systems and their university departments this therapy. Light team is invincible.